Thank you for downloading this Brum Radio podcast. For more podcasts, visit brumradio.com.
Welcome to the Freak Scene podcast with me, Dave Travis, promoter, photographer, and friend to the stars, some of whom pop into the Brum Radio studios for a chat. If you want to listen to the whole show, which includes the music, then pop along to mixcloud.com/Brum Radio. I'm Dave Travis, listening to Brum Radio, and my guest this week is Hugh McGuinness.
Hello, Dave. Hello, Paul. It's lovely to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Hugh McGuinness, most people probably know as the lead singer in Mighty Mighty.
Yes, that's my bête noire. Maybe not my bête noire, because I love being in the band. I love the whole the camaraderie of being in a band, making music, singing live, meeting people that you might want to have sex with. All of that stuff is absolutely great.
Yeah, you miss drinking.
Well, yeah, I've got a story about that, which I'll tell you later.
Is that all the things that people join a band for, isn't it?
I think meeting girls might have been No, I know. It was always about the music for me. It always has been, you know. Yeah. I'm a music lifer. I spent all my life involved, luckily, in various sorts of music enterprises, managing bands, being in the bands, putting out a Mickey Greeny CD, managing the Sea Urchins. I've done lots and lots of stuff, which has brought me as bankrupt in
yes.
release once, but it's brought me lots of pleasure. You know?
Yeah,
and you can't. I think. I don't know how you feel about this, but I think life is all about experience, and the more experiences you have, it make you a better person, or just that sort of growth. You know.
Yeah.
Not spiritual particularly, but just you like life more, I think.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was always about having fun and avoiding getting a proper job. So again, a lot of people in show business are in the same ilk, aren't they? So Mighty Mighty, they were a big band on the indie scene, weren't they, in the 80s?
Well, I can't remember. I can remember some things about the band.
Yeah, that's
I was racking my brain before this started, and I went to the Wikipedia page, right, just to check
check on your own life.
Yeah, exactly, and the singer and how the singers were released. But somebody's put something on it that says we used to be part of the Oxford scene. Yeah, and we used to play at the Jericho Tavern. I'm thinking, no, we're Brummies. What's that about?
Yeah.
But it was interesting to look at the chart positions, the indie chart positions, because I was first singing with 34 in the 50, and then we did something like second single did 20, and then it was sort of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, but I think that was because we put records out in chapter 22, and they had a bit more promotion and marketing, and we sold a lot more. Yeah, being on a bigger indie than our own girly records label, which was just us sitting around the table going, we'll put a record out, it'll do okay, we'll put another record out, and that was it. So. Yeah,
no, it was quite easy, wasn't it, in those days, in the 80s? But there was a lot of records around, so, because it was easy, a lot of people did it.
I think the difference between now is there's just so much media, there's just so much stuff on the... I mean, if you want to find a band, you go into YouTube, you look for it, and you can hear anything you want these days. And it was a different time, it was an innocent time, it wasn't a career. We were all on the enterprise allowance scheme when we started, which was 40 quid a week. So instead of being on a dole, you're doing that.
That's how Happy Monday started, wasn't it? On the enterprise allowance. A few bands.
Yeah, and if you're creative any sort of way, just having a few quid. Yeah. So you can just practice your art. During the week. But of course, we never. Our drummer at the time said we should be rehearsing 3 or 4. We should be rehearsing like every day of the week. Yeah. And we go, there's a couple of rehearsals because that's okay. And so we could have. I think at the time we could have done a lot more work in terms of learning our craft a little bit better. But look back in it, we did enough to make good records, and that I can still listen to and think, that's a pretty good vocal. I did a good job there. That's okay,
No, it's a cracking body of work. I think I was looking through it this morning. Yeah, no, there's some great. What was I can't remember the singles now. There was Maisonette, wasn't there? There was Everybody Knows the Monkey,
which is our first single. Yeah,
Throwaway.
Yeah,
I mean. Is there anyone out there, which was we stole that for the title for my photographic exhibition of Click Club at Burberry's at BCU a couple of years ago.
And we played
And you played live. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
It's already scratching our back, scratching each other's back.
That was great. And Mighty, are you playing together again now? Or?
Well, yeah. The thing is, you're the impetus, really, indirectly, for our reformation. Yeah. We went to. I think I was DJing at your Pop Fest. And the June Brides were playing, or it was the night before. I think I went to see the June Brides at your Pop Fest thing, and I was staying with Mick Gagan at the bar of the Heron House upstairs, and we were looking at each other and we were going, God, this isn't very good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, no.
Yeah.
And so we just left and we went downstairs for a drink. And I just said to Mick, I was a bit drunk. I said, Mick, is there any chance of me rejoining the band? And he said, you've got to be effing joking.
Yeah.
And I went, okay. And then he said, well, I'll ring the rest of the band members and see what they say. And he said it's okay with me, you know, because he's been my friend for 30-something years, so there's no problem, I don't think. But then that was the Saturday night, and Sunday night he phoned me and said, yeah, the rest of the band said yes. And I thought, they really need me.
Well,
really
do you know, I think they're great band and all good musicians and everything, but I do think that your vocals were very distinctive, and I wouldn't like to, you know, say someone shouldn't have a go with somebody else, but I don't think it'd be quite the same without your vocals.
Yeah, and that's something that Pete Gagan, the guitarist, said. That he said that I'm quite open to other people singing the songs because, you know, I'm like that as a person, really, I think. But Pete was saying, no, you've got the distinctive voice. You have the voice of Mighty Mighty. So if
really
sing the songs, then it's not quite the same. So.
No. A lot of bands they sort of reform, don't they, with new singing. I mean, Stranglers famously, and they're extremely successful doing that. But. Queen, yes, that's it. Thank you, producer Paul.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
Oh, and the Undertones. Can I just do the Undertones for a second, just because? So I put the Mickey Reaney CD out. We're ranging around the place now, and so I put the Mickey Reaney CD out, and nothing was happening with it. I had 800 copies in my bedroom because we couldn't shift it. And then I got a phone call, and it was this Northern Irish voice going, I can't do the accent, so I won't.
Yeah.
He said, it's Fergal Sharkey.
Yeah.
I'm just going, yeah, right, mate. Is it, what? Yeah, Fergal Sharkey. I'm going, yeah. And he went, that's Fergal Sharkey. I went, it's Fergal Sharkey!
Yeah.
It's remember the Undertones. I was going, Undertones. I love the Undertones. I've got a great band, the Undertones. Oh, you know, I did that for about 2 or 3 minutes. And he obviously thought I was an idiot, you know. So I didn't hear from him again. Right. So there you go. So if I'd have been a bit more sensible, maybe he would have said, oh, we're going to sign Mickey Green.
Well, so you really didn't hear from him again?
I really didn't hear from him again. So he phoned me once, and that was it. But I'm exaggerating the comic effect, but...
hope Mickey Green's not listening to this.
Well, we can talk about Mickey Green some other time if you want to, you know, press off, Mike.
Yeah.
So.
But so you playing live now with Mighty Mighty again?
No, I think you're going to promote a gig by it at some point.
I'll try to.
Yeah, I know.
We do have a history of talking about like a Go-Kart Mozart, which we're hopefully going to promote a gig together, aren't we? But we are going to do that's gigs. 2 years, and it's going to be over a year.
We have been talking for 2 years about Go-Kart Mozart because I'm a felt fan, really. And I like one of the Go-Kart Mozart songs, so I can sort of live with that, really. And Lawrence is such a character that you've got to do
fascinating character.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's worth doing just for the stories, really, isn't it? But
I remember meeting. I tell you, I remember meeting Lawrence in the Powerhouse on a Wednesday night when they had like Wednesday night indie discos back in the midst of time, and I said to Lawrence, "Oh, I was saying, how are you, mate?" He said to me, "Oh, I don't see you very often." I said, "Well." I said, yeah, but that's because you don't go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's Lawrence, you know. He lives in this weird pop star bubble that no one else does. But he didn't go out in the Birmingham scene because I don't remember
I never saw him out very much. No, I saw him out and about, but, you know, not clubbing
we felt we're doing a gig, he was out, but not any other time.
No, famously wouldn't let people put cheese in his fridge.
Or have a number two in his toilet.
But how many times do people come around your house and say, "Oh, can I have a cup of tea? And there's any chance I can put this cheese in your fridge?" I don't. But you know, it could happen, and it's best to be prepared for that eventuality, I suppose.
He did let some when they put the Primal Scream gig on, which is a massive failure, but it's got so many stories I can tell you.
What was that?
At the Mermaid.
Oh, that was an early one, wasn't it?
Yeah. So what?
Because I picked up the successful ones after that, didn't I?
Thanks for making it. I lost about 80 quid or something on it.
Yeah.
And half of that is Brian Taylor's, and he still hasn't paid me the 40 quid, mate. So I just thought, so put them on the Mermaid, right? So the support band were Meat Whiplash, I think, and they went on, and maybe the Quimbies, who were the Sea Urchins, went on first.
Yeah.
Sea Urchins used to be called the Quimbies back in the day.
Well, just be about 84 or 5, wasn't it? It's a very early gig.
I can't remember.
It was pre-86 anyway, because I started promoting in 86.
It was the single had come out because I bought that, or I'd written to Bobby Gillespie, who sent me a letter back, or bought the single or something about that. So the support band had played, and they were really, and Primal Scream were really, really late, and they turned up at something like 11:30. Yeah, and they had this excuse about turning over on the motorway, and I looked at the van and there was nothing wrong with it. Obviously, what happened is they were drinking in a pub and they went, "Oh God, we got a gig in Birmingham, we got to go now," and so they turned up late, right? And so they played 4 songs, and the landlord just turned the power off. And there was a massive row between Bobby Gillespie and the landlord of the pub, and I was just staying over, just thought, what they played, there they go, and I paid.
Well, legally, it's 3 songs or 15 minutes, whichever is the longest.
Thank you. I didn't know that. Yeah. There you go. I paid Jeff Barrett by check because he was a tour manager there.
Jeff Barrett, the famous Jeff Barrett. Yeah, he used to come to Burberry's a lot.
It's good bloke. He still long hair.
He did have long hair. Yeah,
lovely bloke. Absolutely lovely guy. Yeah.
But Promise Screen were famous for turning up very late. They seem to run to their own time system.
Yeah, well, you did those successful gigs with them.
So
we probably know that.
Well, I could probably do a show on Promise Screen turning up late stories. So, but what a band though. I mean, through their many incarnations.
Oh yeah, but I never got it because they put the first single out right. The B-side's better. It happens. Why wasn't that the A-side right? So instead of All Fall Down, they put another single out. Crystal Crescent on the A-side. Velocity Girl on the B-side. Better song on the B-side.
Yeah.
They kept doing that. I didn't quite get that.
Velocity Girl it's the quintessential sort of
indie,
C86 indie track,
exactly.
Isn't it?
And we were on C86 as well.
What track did you have on C86?
Law. Okay.
That's right.
So we went. We thought we'd record it, and we thought we'd give the fans something they didn't have. So we went and recorded a new song for C86. And we should just put, is there anyone out there, or everybody knows a monkey on it? Because that would have been, that would have just done the job, rather than put something that was a bit quirky and stuff. And of course, Promise Screen put Velocity Girl on it. So everything else just sounds a bit sort of, it's at half-assed, really.
Yeah. Hey, should we listen to some Felt?
Let's do that thing.
That's the incredible Felt, and a choice of my guest this week, Hugh McGuinness from Mighty Mighty, and that just doesn't seem to date, does it? It's just
it's one of those great records. That was My Faces on Fire, wasn't it?
Yes.
Good. It was. I had the single, bought the single, loved the single, sold the single for some obscene profit. Regret that to this day, which I've done with lots of my records, but and it's one of the better ones. I think that there's a patch. I bought the first Felt album, Crumbling Antiseptic Beauty, and I didn't like it particularly because it's a bit too ethereal. It's very delicate, and I wanted small pop songs, and it's delicate. And it's more Vinnie Riley than anything else, I think, but when they hit that sort of putting the good singles out in Cherry Red bit before they then did Primitive Painters and Ballad of the Band, which is my favourite Felt record, but we can play maybe later. That's when I thought they were great. And I did go to the last Felt gig that you promoted at Burberry's.
That's right, yeah. Last ever gig.
Yeah, I had a pint of beer in my hand, and for some reason I threw it away because I wanted to dance, and I don't know why I did that. I could have just put it down. I don't know what.
Caught up in the moment.
I was just, it's Felt. It's the last gig. They were great, actually. Yeah, I really enjoyed the gig.
And I think I think everything he's done has been brilliant. I love Denim. I thought there's because I think that was Lawrence's. He decided he was going to be a big pop star, and so he put a band together to be a big pop star. Because there's a film we've talked about on the show before about Lawrence of Belgravia. Have you seen that?
I was there. I was there at the
Mac. With the Q&A after.
Yeah,
no, it's fascinating. It is. There's so many great bits. I mean, I've said it before, but if you've not seen that film, dig it out. I think you have to get it on CD. I think on DVD. Yeah. Okay. So it's well worth watching. There's incredible.
A bit in it where he goes into the A&R man's office with a song called Electro Sex.
Yes,
and he plays it, and the guy's face is just. I don't quite understand what this is and what we're supposed to do now and what we're supposed to say.
Well, I don't understand anyone that wouldn't get everything that Lawrence has done. We must get him in on the show.
Oh, he'd be diamond. Can I come along? I'd just sit in the corner and go, hello, it's Lawrence.
There's Pete Pathides does a show in London, Soho Radio, and he was going in to prepare for his show, and Lawrence was a guest on the show previous to his. And so they're just making small talk. So Pete obviously is a Felt fan as well. And he's going, hello, how you doing? And Lawrence goes, what are you doing here? He goes, I'm doing the next show. And Pete, and he goes, Lawrence says, what sort of music do you play? He goes, well, a bit of everything. And Lawrence goes, oh yeah, one of those everything shows. So that's what my show is, I think, an everything show. Anything goes.
Yeah. But, can I tell a quick Pete Pathides story?
Yes.
Pete Pathides used to be known as Pete Perturbed back in the day when he ran a fanzine called Perturbed. And he somehow thinks that I produced Pristine Christine by the Sea Urchins, right? Which, of course, I'm willing to dine out on. And if anyone wants to talk to me about it, I'm willing to say, yes, I'll produce that great pop single. But he broadcast it on Soho Radio. So my friend Andy Beavers from London rang me and said, have you heard this? And he said, well, just listen to the link. And Pete Fleet said something like, oh, that was Pristine Christine by Sea Urchins, produced by Hugh McGuinness of Mighty Mighty fame. He said, that's a fact. So I'd like to say, it isn't a fact. I didn't produce a record, but if someone's paying me for for stories about it, I'm quite happy to roll them out.
Yeah. Well, I'd take that. I wouldn't. It's you never let truth get in the way of a good story. That's my motto.
It's great. Yeah, it's great.
But no. So and hopefully, as I say, you and I, Go Kart Mozart, Lawrence's latest incarnation.
Sometime in the future, we'll be there.
For 2 years in the planning.
2 years in the planning. It's going to be mega. But, we'll have the dancing girls and the camels and the rest of the malarkey.
And of course, it looks like we might even get a Mighty Mighty gig as well sometime in the future. Maybe we could actually sort that out now, couldn't we? Really?
I think we could.
Maybe not on air. So let's listen to some Mighty Mighty. Is there anyone out there? Oh, that's Orange Juice. And before that, we had Is Anyone Out There from Mighty Mighty. And my guest this week is Hugh McGuinness, lead singer or lead vocalist with Mighty Mighty. That's a great, two great tracks there, definitely.
Oh, thank you. I like to think that we're bracketing with Orange Juice. Always one of my favourite bands. Although I'd like to say that the Associates are probably my favourite Scottish band of all time, but Orange Juice is probably a good second. Mick Gagan of Mighty Mighty, who's the songwriter, I've got to point this out. He's a Joseph K fan, and I'm an Orange Juice fan, and we've never even sort of. No, I've always liked Joseph K, but I love Orange Juice more than that. The record we're about to play is by Vic Goddard. It's Subway Sex, Different Story, and the record that you just listened to, Poor Old Soul Part 2, references. The record we're about to play with its No More Rock and Roll for You, No More Rock and Roll for You, because that's something that Vic talks about in Different Story by Subway Sex.
Let's give it a listen.
Down here. That was Vic Goddard's, Subway Sex, Different Story. I'm a big Vic Goddard fan. There's something about his songwriting that really appeals to me. And he's one of those sort of unsung punk pioneers, formed a few months after the Sex Pistols did, but always a bit sort of I don't know, they weren't losers, but they always had a sort of a very dour reputation, I think. But the songs are fantastic, particularly that and the A-side Ambition of the single, and things like Chain Smoking. And I put Vic Goddard on at the Hare and Hounds a few years ago because I loved him, and I thought it might be cheaper than
travelling to London. We've all done that one. We've all done that one.
And it sort of worked. I mean, I think I had sort of 50, 60 people there, and I might be exaggerating. I lost 40 quid, which would have been a night out in London.
So far, you're £120 down on your promoting career. Keep a tally on this.
I could talk about other promotions. You keep it. Thanks, Dave. And he was the band were really good. They played really well. And Vic's a very sort of flighty character. I was sitting in the sort of dressing room talking to the rest of the band, various people, and Vic would be at the edge of the conversation, and then he'd come in a little bit and say something, then he'd disappear again. But a nice guy. I did offer him my management skills a couple of years ago, and he turned me down. Which might be the right reason. I think he's being managed by his wife or his girlfriend.
And he's still playing, isn't he?
Yeah. I hope to put him on some time again in the future. Not
when you've saved £40 up. So we're going to move on now to Brian Holland.
Yeah, Brian Holland. Okay, part of Holland, as everybody knows. I heard this record first, I think, maybe something like 25 years ago. And I had my friend Andy Beavers, I mentioned before, from London. He sent me a copy, which was a really battered one, of the single. And I eventually found a copy in Vintage Vinyl in Wolverhampton. I told the woman behind the counter, I've been with this record for 25 years, right? And the record was £6. And I said, so can I have a $5? She looked at me.
You've been looking?
I'm really cheap. I went, I want this record. I'm going to buy it. Can you give me a discount? There you go. But it's fantastic, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy the magic of Motown.
That's Anita Harris with the clapping song, and before that we had Brian Holland, the choices of my guest this week, Hugh McGuinness.
Hi, hello again.
Still here? Still going strong?
Yeah, so anyway, I was on the train back to Liverpool, I think, right? And sitting across me, and imagine I'm sort of facing forward. Anyway, and the seat opposite me was a woman. I thought, I recognise that face. I think I know who that is. So, but I dallied, and then I thought, right, I'll ask you just before I leave the train because it won't be embarrassing. But it's not who I think it is. Right, I said, "Excuse me, love, are you?"
Excuse me, love.
No, excuse me, love. I said, "Excuse me, are you in the Stubbs?" She went, no, sorry, I'm Anita Harris. I went, oh yeah, I get it, yeah, Anita Harris. And then I had to go across to her and sit opposite her and go, oh yeah, Anita Harris, I really love the clapping song. It's great. When did you record that? She said, 1970. Johnny Harris was Johnny Arthur was the producer or something like that. I was going to know how good it was. And then, and she said, would you like an autograph? Which she was such a pro. Yeah. Would you like an autograph, right? So he pulls out a photo. Right, and she signed it to Shuggy, which is my street name.
Yeah,
Shuggy with
your
love.
Street name.
My street name. Well, people call me Shuggy or call me Hugh. So she signed it to Shuggy with love, right? And it's on my Facebook page. Actually, I put it up there because it's really good.
Oh,
and it has. And I loved that version. And then I thought I'll investigate her career a bit more and find out if there's anything great. And there was one great song called London Life. Okay, it's on a single. I can't get it, but it's a really moody, jazzy, sort of Beatlesque thing, and it's you got to hear it. It's a great thing. You'll probably find it on YouTube.
Did you wish you'd gone over earlier in the train journey?
She was with somebody who looked like her manager, or maybe somebody who was close to her.
Yeah, there's probably only so far you can drag these conversations out. So I think on balance, you made the right decision.
The photo was a perfect touch. I like that.
On the next track is one of my all-time favourites. And it's Lulu, To Serve With Love. This is this was on the film with the same name, wasn't it?
Yeah. Are we talking about this now?
Yeah, let's talk about it now. Let's talk before and after because I think it's such a great track.
Yeah. What do I know about this? Written by Don Black and Mark London, I think.
Don Black was a lyricist. He did Born Free, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did some Bond films and everything.
The best line in that, and I'm sure you're going to agree with me, is the line about how can you someone who's taking you from crayons to perfume. Isn't that great? That in 4 words you encapsulate a whole 10 or 15 years of experience. That's just beautiful. I mean, that's a proper song.
In a way, it sums up teaching, doesn't it? Really?
That's
it. Gone well enough here, you.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. And this is the best version. The first version is the best one.
Absolutely, without doubt. And this is played at the end of the film, isn't it? There's a sort of isn't there a sort of dance
scene where she sings it to him and and the people dancing.
So like in the film, she sort of.
Sorry.
No, because she's sort of in the crowd with the other kids, isn't she? And
she comes through the crowd.
Why don't you sing? So just like it's almost completely unrehearsed, isn't it? But it's a fantastic moment in the film. That's Lulu and To Serve With Love. That's one of my favourites and one of your favourites as well, Hugh.
It's a great record.
No, I remember I watched the film. I'm so old. I watched the film when it came out, and several times since.
You're a year older than me, aren't you?
Yeah,
I'd like to point that out.
It's 67, wasn't it?
Are you 67?
No, it was 1967, I think. Yeah.
You saw it at the cinema?
No, I didn't see it at the cinema. No, it'd be a little bit later, actually. It'd be on TV. It's probably about 69, 70, so yeah. But great film, really good film.
Yeah. I think it's impressive. It's fantastic. And I think the kids are really well cast. The class of kids, really.
Yeah, there's Patricia Routledge is in it. And her character name was Clinty Clintridge.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Which I don't know, it smacked of something to me. I can't.
And of course, Judy Geeson, the lovely Judy Geeson.
Oh, Judy Geeson, yes, absolutely.
So there's some well-known faces in that. Great film and an amazing track. So, there's another one that another of my favourite tracks, which is also one of yours, is Barbra Streisand. I'm not a big Barbra Streisand fan. It's got to be said.
I'm in that camp of not being a big Barbra Streisand fan. I do a lot of record shopping because when I'm not working, I buy records to sell, and I've seen every Barbra Streisand record album possible in charity shops. And this single's different. It's a Laura Nyro song.
Laura Nyro, yeah, she wrote it originally. Yeah,
she wrote it originally, and this is and she really sings the. Balls out of this.
Well, yeah, I mean, Barbra Streisand, I think, is someone who you could say is good and extremely successful at what she does. Yeah. And the Laura, it's Stony End. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it. Stony End. Right. And the Laura Naro version is great. And it's also covered by the Blossoms and the Chicks as well. It's a New Zealand female duo.
Oh, I did not know that.
No, but everybody does a sort of fairly straight sort of version of it, as Barbara Streisand does. But I do think the Barbara Streisand version really edges the original. Yeah. She got an incredible. Whether you like her or not, you cannot fault the fact she's got just an amazing voice. And I think the arrangement on this as well. Yeah. It's there's only a few tracks that really take an original and run with it and make it better.
I think it's country soul. I mean, that's the way I like to think about it anyway. I don't think about the pop music, basically. So.
No, it's a cracking track. Turn it up loud, listen to this. Stony End, Barbara Streisand. It's Barbara Streisand and Stony End. I hope you're all dancing around your computers or your mobile devices to that, because it really does deserve to be played loud and danced to, I think.
Yeah, it's one of my favourites. And I was telling Dave and Paul a story about dancing around the kitchen. The bass player in Mighty Mighty is called Russell Burton. He's got a house in Leicestershire and he's got a lovely big kitchen. And we'd been partying all night, and at 4 a.m. someone put that record on, and it was just Mighty Mighty and Girlfriends and Wives, and we dancing to it, and it was just like a magical few minutes of of love and friendship.
Yeah, no, it's got that feel to it, hasn't it? Definitely. Yeah. And it's almost like we've programmed the show, because the next one is the Stone Ponies.
So Stone. Yes, we're making a connection there. Yeah. It's like Blockbuster, I think. Right, so Stone Ponies. Okay, so in 2007, I had some money from my dad's estate, and I thought I need a holiday, because I hadn't been on holiday for years. So I thought, right, I'm going to Philadelphia, because I want to go to one particular record shop, Val Shively's shop in Philadelphia, which I didn't reach because of all sorts of reasons. So the first couple of days I was a bit scared, because I was in a big city. I didn't know you didn't know what the street was like, and I was a bit worried about getting mugged and anything like that. But anyway, I was staying in a hotel for the first couple of nights. On the second night, I thought, I should go out, do something, right? So I opened the free paper, which is called the Philadelphia Herald, I think. And I'm making it up. And there was something called a quizzo, which is like a pub quiz. And it was 4 blocks south and 3 blocks west or something, I think, at a place called Dirty Frank's, which is a bar. It's not like the bar in Cheers. You walk in.
So you thought this was a safe option, did you, to go to Dirty Frank's 7 blocks away from your hotel?
So 7 blocks is walking from here into town, into Birmingham City Centre from Warehouse Cafe. So I got there and I started talking to this. So I walked in and I thought, who's the quizmaster? And it was a guy called Quizmaster Chris. I know that because I talked to him, but he also had a big top hat with a big question mark on it. I went, he's doing the quiz, isn't he? So I talked to him and I said, I'm English, I'm from England, and he introduced me to his friend Lisa, who was an Anglophile, massive fan of sort of 40 Towers and all that sort of Brit comedy, which I like, but but it was nice to talk to somebody. And I'm drinking beer and sort of doing the quiz and talking to Chris, talking to Lisa, having a great time. It's Wednesday night, right? And it's 2:00. Like, I'm thinking, it's like the last order 2:00, right? So I'm a bit drunk. And then Lisa introduced me to a boyfriend, Dave, and they say, do you fancy another beer? I said, well, yeah. We live around the corner. I was thinking, okay, 1313 Lombard Street, I shouldn't say that, but that's where they all lived. So we're around the corner.
People in America do listen to this. So we should give people's personal addresses.
Please don't knock on the door and interrupt them in any sort of in any way. Okay, so I walk up the stairs. They've got a long row house. I walk in. I look to them all right outside. They've got a baby grand. But more interestingly for me, I looked beyond that, and they had records from the time. Records. There are lots and lots of vinyl. Okay, shelves all the way across the room. I walked further on. I look down to my left, and they've got boxes of singles going all the way up the stairs to the first floor. And I say to Dave, Dave, so what do you do, mate? He said, I'm a record dealer. I went, isn't this the greatest moment of my life? Unfortunately, he liked a lot of 60s pop and lots of sort of white bread records. I call them white bread. I'm not saying that they're bad, but they're just 60s pop, a little like the Stone Ponies record, which we're about to hear now. I bought a few things from him. But the best thing about that was I made a friend, Lisa, who I still correspond with. And I've got to go back to Philadelphia one day because it was I had the best 3 months, I think, of my life, really. I just spent all the time. I was in record shops, I was at lectures, I saw Camille Paglia talk. I mean, I did lots and lots of interesting stuff for me, and it helped with my dad's death, and also helped me sort of blow out a lot of cobwebs. Really, it was a really good time.
Yeah, let's listen to it. Stone Ponies. That's different drum from Stone Ponies. That's the choice of Hugh McGuinness, my guest this week. And that's been covered many times, hasn't it?
Yeah, the Lemonheads version and the Pastels did quite a nice job on it,
yeah. Probably most people know it from the Lemonheads version, really, don't they?
But that's more to do with Mike Nesmith's songwriting, really. I just think that's it's just a very clever song, the way it sort of flows from verse to chorus and middle eight. So I like the songwriting as much as the song itself.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a good track. We've got some good stuff coming up here. We've got a bit more soul coming as well, haven't we? What did we say was next? I've forgotten. I've forgotten where we are now. Oh, we're going to do it. Thank you, producer Paul. Yeah, get off your phone and pay a bit more attention.
No, I think that was our fault. Well, my fault because I didn't have a story. I have a story. Yeah,
you have a story about the Spinners?
No, I don't have a story about the Spinners. Although the fact the record's called the Motown Spinners, so it's to differentiate itself from the Liverpool folk group with the big chunky sweaters, which I never liked really.
No,
but I love. This is the single this about to play is the B-side of "It's a Shame" by the Detroit Spinners, Motown Spinners. I don't know how I discovered this. It's just one of those things that came out of nowhere, and I prefer this B-side to the A-side. I've always been a soul boy. I spent my youth buying Otis Redding singles from Reddingtons. At 17, I worked in a metal bashing factory, and I earned £57 a week. I remember that, and so I gave a tenth to my mum, and then the rest I didn't know what to do with it. I was so young. I had these riches, and so I went to Reddingtons every week for 10 weeks, and I bought one Otis Redding single. I don't know why I did that. I just did. So I had a lot of Otis Redding singles. Then I discovered record fairs and started to buy a lot of soul. But the thing soul music's been such a pivotal and essential part of my life that I don't really think that. No, it really is. It's about my friend Joel calls me a black woman, which I'm not, but I like its sentiment really. It's integral to my being. So, and I could have played 30 soul records. I could have chosen 20 or 30 soul records, but I wanted to give more a sort of flavour of who I am as much as the.
You could come back and do a DJ mix, do a soul DJ mix. You've done that before now.
I would love that.
That'd be a good idea.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, no, I'd be well up for that.
Yeah. So this is Sweet Thing by the Motown Spinners.
That's the Spinners, Sweet Thing. That's a great track as well, isn't it?
It's a great track. Yeah. As I said, I prefer it to the A side. The next song is
Joe Armstead.
Thank you very much for that. It's called I Feel an Urge Coming On. This is the first Northern Soul record I bought, and I didn't even realise it was a Northern Soul record when I bought it. I bought it blind in a shop. Camp Hill. Okay, Camp Hill, as you walk down the Stratford Road, there used to be a lot of junk shops, second-hand shops on the left-hand side, which don't exist anymore. But I bought maybe 6 singles blind in there. That was 50p. I've written my name on it. It's got Hugh written on it, which is it's a no-no as far as record collectors go. It's a great record, and I'd like you to play it.
That's the Dells. Another choice of my guest this week, Hugh McGuinness from Mighty Mighty.
Yeah, that's the Dells.
We're dancing around the studio here, aren't we?
Yeah, dancing, hugging, and kissing each other.
Yeah.
Was that my?
Well, no. One of those was true.
One of those true.
But yeah, so I'll leave it to the listeners to work out which one.
Yeah. So anyway, that record is so good. Okay, I'll put this on a CD compilation for a friend of mine, or it's actually a cassette tape. Remember back in the day, and apparently he had to pull over. It was just so he was driving his car, and he had to pull over and listen to this full glory of it and play it again because it's such a great record.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that definitely. And we spoke about you coming back actually and doing like a soul mix. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'd love to because I'm a soul boy and
chatting's lovely.
Yeah,
but let's.
Although as I'm getting older, God, it's coming to me. I never thought I liked jazz. Right, I never did. I like the jazz. And some like soul jazz now. So I've got some soul jazz stuff that I'd like to play. Really. Yeah. Stuff like, but the more Latin stuff like Eddie Palmieri or Charlie Palmieri, the brothers. And
it's a hell of a coincidence if we're not.
Well, bizarre, wouldn't it? Yeah. And Ray Barretta. There's a great track by Ray Barretta called Together, which I don't have. maybe we could possibly squeeze it in before the end of the show.
Yeah, sure, true. See if we can dig that out. But yeah, we'll sort that out. Come back and do a sort of soul mix, and we're going to move on to the Walker Brothers.
Yeah,
next.
The Walker Brothers again, big part of my life. I've had all of the Scott Walker albums. I've had all the Walker Brothers albums as well. And this is My Ship Is Coming In, written by Joey Brooks. I don't think there's a better version than this, although I have a version by a guy called Walter Jackson, who's a soul guy, as always. And he sings it well, but there's something epic about this Scott Walker version of the Walker Brothers version of My Ship's Coming In.
That's My Ship's Coming In from the Walker Brothers. Monumental, that is a great track.
Scott Walker, just one of those guys that whose voice defines the 60s for me, I think.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can't mistake it's one of those artists that you just can't mistake for anything else. And it's fairly conventional voice in a lot of ways, isn't it? Yeah. But it's the arrangements, and I think the way he uses his voice.
Yeah, the first single, which maybe I should have played instead, the second single that the Walker Brothers released in the UK is called Love Her. And that's more a sort of, it's produced by Nick Vanette, who produced the Beach Boys and did some other work later on. And that's very much a sort of, I think that's a template for every Walker Brothers single that came after it, including My Ship Is Coming In, because it's very much that big, epic, sub-Spectre type soundscape, you know. Although I think the last Scott Walker LP I bought was Climb to the Hunter back in 1983. I think it was one of 1,000 to buy it. That's apparently how many it sold. Wow. And I liked some of the songs on there, although they're called track 6, track 7, and you can never remember which one you want to play. But he seems to have got more and more. I don't know. He seems moved in sort of avant-garde world of music making, but I just want to hear that voice. And probably he's in the 70s now, so maybe the voice isn't there. Always hearing some proper songwriting from him. I appreciate that. That's his choice to make. But that's a Scott Walker album.
Yeah, it's one of those voices that could sing almost anything really, and you'd listen to it. So what have we got next?
This is another voice that can sing absolutely everything. This is James Carr, Dark End of the Streets.
Fantastic, another great choice there, Hugh.
Oh, thank you. That's
James Carr.
Yeah, Dark End of the Street, written by Chip Moman and Dan Penn. Just a great soulful, spiritual record. I always like. There's a version which is very funny by Clarence Carter called Making Love at the Dark End of the Street, and it's just a sermon. He just talks about driving out to the country with 50 cents worth of gas in the car and making love to a beautiful woman. It goes on for a few minutes like that, and then he breaks into At the Dark End of the Street at the end of it. And if you get a chance to hear that, you should.
Yep. So we're going to move on now to the Sea Urchins, another of my favourite bands, Birmingham band.
Yeah, Birmingham band. I have a million stories about the Sea Urchins. I used to manage the Sea Urchins for a while, but I was more a sort of Leggy Mountbatten manager, the guy, the Russell's manager, than very effective. I had big plans. I talked to them. I remember going around to our house in West Bromwich and saying, "We're going to get Roy Wood to produce you. We're going to do this, and this." None of it came to fruition, really. I did arrange a 9-single production and distribution deal with 9 Mile.
9 Mile, the legendary 9 Mile,
back at the day, yeah. And I had to. It was a weird one because I had to sort of go and meet Rod Thompson and Craig Jennings, who were working at 9 Mile at the time. I had to meet them in a blues pub on a Saturday. So I walk into this pub full of blues fans. I'm thinking, "Oh, we're getting out of here alive." And sort of side lobe and go, "Can we do this?" And we're going, "Yeah." And they did have a couple of beers, and so I left there. And it was a night. Honestly, a 9-single production and distribution deal was unheard of at that time. And I thought it was brilliant. I was going to record with Supergroup, which was more one of my side projects. Yeah. I was going to do at least a few Sea Urchin singles and a single or two by my friend Johnny Collins' band Boats Not Ships, who then became Modesty Blaze and released a few records back down in Bristol. So I was really pleased about it. So I rang Robert Cooksey and I said, "Listen, I did 9 singles, do that. He said, "Oh, we just signed to Sarah Records." And I went, "Oh," and I said a swear word and I put the phone down on him, and I didn't talk to him then for probably about a couple of years, really.
Yeah.
Although I was there when they recorded Pristine Christine. No, I had a cassette of it. They gave me a cassette and they said, which one of the songs do you think we should put out as a single? And I went, Pristine Christine. They went, yeah, we thought that as well. So I did have some not small influence, but they'd already decided that. But the B-side is Sullen Eyes, one of the tracks, the two tracks on the B-side, and we're going to hear Sullen Eyes now.
No, and Wildgrass Pictures.
Oh, sorry. That's my fault entirely.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wildgrass Pictures, which is the B-side of the third or fourth single. Well, let's hear it.
That's the Sea Urchins and Wildgrass Pictures.
Yeah, and that's Sullen Eyes, as I thought I'd programmed. The Sea Urchins, yeah. So a couple of years ago, I don't know. I was talking to. I'd become friends with Robert Cooksey again. We decided that, we thought that maybe we could get the Sea Urchins back together for some reformation, just reform and get some gigs. And so I put that idea into place, and we finally got them all in together at the Quaker meeting halls in town. I don't know quite why I booked that, but anyway I did. And we sat around for a bit, but there'd been a bit of sort of grief between a couple of members of the band, and it didn't happen. But the other side of that was that as soon as I'd sort of even intimated in a small way that they might be reforming, I had Carl Phillips of Moseley Folk Festival contacting me and sort of saying, yeah, I'd love to put them on a Friday. They can be third from the top of the bill, and we'll pay you this amount of money. And I was thinking, this is great. And then the guys at Fire Station Records who put out the Mighty Beastmax tapes, and
great label. We played a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, great label, great guys. And they were going to put out our next record, Mighty next record. And they got in touch, and they were just going, is it true? Are they going to reform? Are they going to come over to Germany? And they offered me 500 quid. And I went, sorry, mate, we don't get out of bed for less than $5,000.
Yeah.
Do. I mean, I'm sure we would have. I mean, I thought that they were worth that sort of cash, and I was looking at booking Lexington in London and doing a couple of shows there. It would have done really, really, really well.
Well, Fire Station Records put the Man Upstairs album, a compilation album, and that sold out in a matter of weeks. Yeah, and the Sea Urchins were a bigger band than the Man Upstairs. A much bigger band, national profile, really.
I mean, I think that, not only is Pristine Christine possibly, along with Velocity Girl, one of the defining indie pop records, but they had so many great songs apart from that, and then they became Delta, and I really think, and they put some records out on major.
Yeah, but another great band as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, I never quite understood why they weren't massive, but maybe, I don't know, I don't quite understand that. But back to Sea Urchins, so that fell apart quite quickly after we had the meeting. I went to the pub and sat around drinking beer with the guys, trying to work out how we could maybe do this again. Maybe it's not quite the right time now, but maybe within a couple of years we can talk about it again.
It'd be good to I enjoy seeing new bands and listening to new music, but with bands like that, it is good to see them again. I think one last time. It's interesting that Carl at Jazz and Folk Festivals that's what I like about the Folk Festival. Carl and Jerv and John at Booksit, they are music fans, and something like that they will pay just to put it on because they think it's a good idea and want to see it themselves.
I also think that Friday night is the pop night, or the pop rock night, rather than being a folk night, really. And I used to live behind behind Moseley Park, and I heard Echo and the Bunnymen playing the cutter.
Yeah.
I'm in my kitchen doing the washing up. Echo playing the cutter. I'm thinking, I should have gone away for the weekend.
Yeah. If you not, did you not go to it?
No, not really. No, I'm not a folk fan. I would have gone to maybe.
But our Public Enemy played at the Jazz Festival, so I think they're fairly elastic with their genres there, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, but it's just a great weekend, the Jazz and the Folk Festival. I don't get paid to advertise them, but it's
great weekend.
It's such a lovely setting, and I think the variety of music, and I think sometimes some of the booking is really inspired, and I think they really do try to put on
a way of sort of getting that mostly music community together as well. Most in Kingsley's music because you meet everyone you've ever met in your life at the festival.
Yeah. I'll just stay backstage. Obviously, I don't come front of house. But,
it's just VIP. Don't mix with punch. VIP champagne all the way, baby.
In the secret backstage bar.
There's the secret backstage bar, which even you can't get into.
I know about it. I just don't want to go there. I'm quite happy where I am. Thank you. So we're going to move on to Tramp now.
Yeah, no, this is really interesting. I don't quite remember where I got this from. I know it's got something to do with Brunning Blues Band back in the late 60s. It's on Spark Records, which of course is a fairly rubbish label if you collect British labels. The only good record I know on Spark is by Pepperbox, Hot Pepper. Is it Hot Pepper? Yeah, anyway. But this is a really slow ballady thing that I think is a great white blues soul record.
That's Saturday, Norma Jean Wright. That's another great choice there, Hugh.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, that's brought me so much joy. I always play that before I go on a Saturday night,
Well, if you go on a Friday?
That's
you stay in?
I know I play Friday on My Mind.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And they go out.
Yeah.
Or any other song, Friday I'm in Love by The Cure. That's my alternate choice for Friday. Thursday's Child by...
Go on, let's do the whole week.
Okay, well, Thursday is a record by Tuesday's Child by Cat Stevens, which we play on Tuesday. Monday I play Manic Monday. Wednesday I play Wednesday Week by Ninja Tones. Thursday I play. Can anyone think of a Thursday record?
No. What about
Sunday? I play Sunday Morning Coming Down.
You could do.
Yeah.
Or the Sundays. You put the whole album.
It's got to be in the start of the record.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's how it works.
Is this the rule? What a great competition! If everyone could we'll just put pause on here and we'll just go run through this, shall we? Let's get it. Let's do it all properly.
Thursday afternoon.
Oh, thank you, producer Paul. Oh, you're cheating. Just Googled it.
It's on your head.
It's got to be in your head.
You're
not the sort of person that Googles the answers at pub quizzes.
No, you've got to go to the toilet at pop quiz.
We're almost at an end. We've got a few more tracks to play.
It's been lovely. I've had a great time. Thank you, Paul.
That's been fantastic. Really, a great choice of music. Really enjoyed it. So you're in Mighty Mighty again.
Yeah, I'm in Mighty Mighty again, and we're recording songs for an album. We're recording 8 songs at the moment. We're recording another 3, I think, next Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll mix and remix, and maybe add some more vocals, because I'm not quite happy with some of the vocal takes. I might have to do those again, and then we plan to release it possibly on Fire Station Records, who put out the Betamax tapes beforehand. So that's where we are at the moment.
Okay. Oh, well, smash it. Well, look forward to that.
Yeah, you'll get a freebie, Dave.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, we'll play it on here. Yeah,
that's what I do.
Okay. Well, I think what we'll do. We're almost at an end. So should we? Let's listen to Otis Redding before we say goodbye, shall we? That's a good idea. Thank you. That's Otis Redding, and She's All Right, and we've almost reached the end of the show.
Yeah. I chose that Otis Redding record because it's one of his very first singles, and it's really good, and it never gets played anywhere. So I thought I'd share it with you. So Kevin Rowland. We were talking about Kevin Rowland earlier off air, and I thought I'd mention Kevin Rowland because I'm going to play a Frank Sinatra record now, and I really like Frank Sinatra, Kevin. Okay, this is Time After Time. I don't know quite how I got into Frank Sinatra, but I've now got 14 LPs and 5 CDs of his work, and I just love him. I think his interpretation of Cole Porter songs is probably where I got into him, but I like pretty much everything he does. And if you get a chance to buy a copy of Songs for Swinging Lovers, that's the LP to start with and move on.
No, I've got a copy of that, definitely. Yeah, I haven't got 14, but I've probably got 4 or 5 at least. Yeah. And talking of Kevin Rowland, he's appearing. He's doing a DJ show at the Hare and Hounds.
Is it the Hare and Hounds?
Yes, on April the 6th.
April 6th, is that a Friday night?
It is indeed, yes. Yeah, a bit of promotion there.
A show with your good graces.
That's right, yeah, definitely. It's I did it 10 years ago. I put on his first DJ. I talked to him at a gig, and and he.
Do you want to tell that story again?
I met him at a Pulp gig in 1999, and we got chatting. And I said, "Have you ever thought about doing any DJing?" And he said, "No, I haven't." So I said, "Well, there's my card. Give me a ring if you change your mind." So 9 years later, the phone goes, and he goes, "Oh, hello, Dave. It's Kevin. I've thought about what you've been saying, and yes, I would like to." I thought, okay, fair enough. But he did it, and he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
First one, he did. He sort of, he'd not done any before, and he just because he's, like yourself, loves music. Because you DJ'd for me as well, didn't you? At the Click Club at Burberry's.
I spent a year at the Coalface of Burberry's playing records to indie records to pissed up people.
Yes.
I had a great time doing it. Yeah.
No, it was you and DJ Fontana, Derek Hammond, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then I think Brian Taylor.
The legend.
I was going to say, I've also put another losing promotions story.
I love them, Hugh.
Yeah, that's right. I'll lay one on you. So I've also put Kevin Rowland on twice doing DJ sets at the Hare and Hounds, but the first one, I think I got about 90 people. But my phone has never been so hot. Everyone was ringing me saying, "When's he playing? What time is he on?" People ring for Wolverhampton just half an hour before the gig saying, "Oh, can you just delay his set so we can get over?" I'm going, "I'm sorry, it's just like it's a gig, you know." You should have sorted this out beforehand. The best. So I got 90 people in. I think I was trying to turn ahead, and I had to pay him £1,200, I think, or something like that. And I had the cash with me, or most of it anyway. So I gave him this big lump of cash, and he said, "Well, how do you do?" And I went, "I think I lost some 300 or 400 quid." Yeah. And he just gave me 300 or 400 quid back. He just went, have that, mate. And I thought, what a decent guy. I mean,
he is absolutely lovely.
He's a lovely. Yeah. I've heard so many bad stories about him, but I don't believe.
He's been around a long time, and everyone's different, and not everyone gets on with everyone. But I don't, from your experience with him and mine, he's absolutely a pleasure to work with. So, and I'm looking forward to that very much indeed, because he does a DJ show, so it's not he doesn't just DJ.
When is it again, Dave? Is it Friday the 6th of April?
Well, funny you should ask that. It's Friday the 6th of April at the Hare and Hounds. Tickets are on sale now, £10. So do get along though, because it is
a very reasonable price for the quality of.
It is probably too cheap.
I forgot to tell my other Kevin Rowland story quickly. Oh God! I was so the first gig. I talked to Kevin. I said I'm in the band. I do a bit of singing. He said, "Well, do you want to sing with me?" I went, "All right, okay, let's do that." So he said, "Well, we're doing Let's Get It On." I thought, I don't know that at all. I better okay. So I couldn't turn it down. So I followed him onto stage. He gave me a mic. I stood to one side. He puts the record on. He starts singing Let's Get It On. Right? He's singing. He's doing what. And I'm joining in. I've got no idea what I'm doing, so I'm trying to do some high harmonies. And I can see him. He's got his hand on the fader, and he's just pulling it down. He's pulling it down. I'm right out of the mix. I'm going, okay. Yeah. So that's how it is. He's a proper singer. I'm just someone who likes a bit of amateur nonsense.
That's almost like a sort of promoter's anxiety dream, isn't it?
But I've sung with Kevin Rowland.
Yes, you have.
Can't take that away from me.
He thought it was shit, but he sang with Kevin Rowland. But thanks very much for coming in.
Cheers, thanks,
fantastic
Dave.
Choice of music, and we will when we're off air, we'll sort a date out and come in and do a DJ soul mix. I think that'd be brilliant.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to this Brum Radio podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on your podcast app.